Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Nibras.
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of Youth Connect. Now, obviously, for those who don't know, what in the world is Youth Connect? Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community, and is still going since the beginning. We are all advocates of all abilities, and as broadcasters and entertainers, we want to be included in opportunities for acting, directing, writing, music, and also as speakers. Now, did you know many of us already have podcasts, YouTube channels, and websites? If you do, please check us out. But I know it's a show that you are going to love. You met my other co-hosts, Kevin, Joshua, Nibras, and Jeffrey, but I always have to start off with myself and bringing you some gaming news. So, for fans that have watched the show multiple times over, you guys usually know that I do a Spotlight Game of the Week. But today, I can't. Because if you know, today is March the 10th. And if you are a huge Nintendo fan, you know that today is Mario Day. That's right. Mario Day is March the 10th. If you really think about it, take the three letters of March, M-A-R, then the number 10, and squish those two together, and you got a 10 that looks like an I and an O. So they call it Mario Day. So sadly, that does not mean for Nintendo fans that you get the day off, unfortunately. But you know what you can do is save some money on a bunch of the video game kind of Switch deals that Nintendo has been coming up with ahead of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So they have created something where you can have a pick between a free copy of Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for your Mario Switch bundle. The set, which is available for Nintendo's website or at select retailers, also comes with some Mario movie-themed stickers. So if you heard those games before, guys, obviously most of you guys have those types of games. But because it's been 6 years. But what's exciting is that that there's going to be a big Mario Day eShop sale. And I have some of the titles that you can grab on discount or when they become on sale. Currently at the moment from March 10th to the 23rd, we got Mario Party Superstars, we got Donkey Kong Country's Tropical Freeze, Yoshi's Crafted World, and Luigi Mansion 3 that's going to be on sale or currently is on sale. And from the 24th to April the 7th, you got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Mario Maker 2, and Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Now, obviously, I have a lot of these games because this console has been out for so long. But if there's games that you've ever wanted to try out, like, for example, I know a lot of people haven't played, for example, Yoshi's Crafted World. I recommend that you check out the deals because you know what? On Mario Day, we celebrate all things Mario. And I've heard, a little birdie told me, that select retails might have Mario-themed objects and toys and games at the select retailers having discounts. So look out. If you want to get a Mario-themed watch, for example, it might be on sale at your local toy shop. Anyways, though, this has been my first gaming news. And next up, we have Kevin with some all-important news.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect with me, Kevin Aruja. For now, let's go over to our headlines. The airports gear up for the passenger surge as spring break test their own capacity. The BMO signs deal to acquire Air Miles loyalty program. U.S. President Joe Biden's long-awaited Canada visit to happen in March 23rd and 24th. And least but not least, Toronto Raptors Fred VanVleet heavily criticized officiating after loss. Airports and airlines are preparing for a surge in passengers ahead of spring break after the industry has struggled to meet explosions of demand peak times over the past year. As March breaks kicks off Ontario this weekend, travelers hope to avoid a repeat of the snaking lines, most luggage, and hundreds of thousands of flight cancellations that visits them last summer and during the winter holidays. Severe staffing shortages have high attrition rates were among the factors conspiring to snarl air travel as the industry began recovering from the pandemic restrictions. The last week, Toronto's Pearson Airport announced it would cap the number of flights during peak hours to flatten out of daily crest and smooth the flow of passengers. The BMO Financial Group, which is the Bank of Montreal, has announced a deal Friday to acquire the Air Miles loyalty rewards program from Loyalty One Company. Financial terms of the agreement were not immediately available. The BMO's agreement to purchase the Air Miles business has no impact on Air Miles collectors' reward miles balances or on collectors' ability to collect and redeem Air Miles reward miles. Sorry about that. Stewart said in a statement, the Loyalty Ventures Incorporated, the parent company of Loyalty One, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the U.S. on Friday. The BMO deal for Air Miles has been proposed as part of Loyalty's One proceeding under the company's Creditors Arrangement Act in Canada. And BMO said the questions would accelerate the future growth of Air Miles. The US President Joe Biden will travel to Ottawa on March 23rd to meet with the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Canadian soil. His first visit north of the border since taking the oath of officials in 2021. The president and his wife Jill Biden will spend 2 days in Canada, the White House confirmed, although a detailed itinerary has not yet been released. A visit to Canada is customarily one of the new U.S. president's first foreign trip, a tradition appended 2 years ago by the COVID-19 pandemic. Like the rest of the world at the time, the, the two leaders settled for a virtual meeting instead. In sports news, Fred VanVleet tries to take a double breath before addressing reporters, but the Toronto Raptors guard was unable to suppress his frustration with referee Ben Taylor and his crew. VanVleet was extremely critical of Taylor after the Raptors' 108-100 losses to the Los Angeles Clippers on Wednesday night, not only for being called for a technical foul, but for the disparity in fouls and free throws. VanVleet, who's in his sixth year in the league, was called in for his eighth technical of the season with 7-2 remain in the third quarter. Paul George made the free throw to put the Clippers up to 65-57. Toronto was called for 23 fouls to Los Angeles 18, but the Clippers were 24 of 31 from the line, where the Raptors were 13 of 14. So winter weather travel advisory issued Toronto to get 4 to 8 centimeters, which is about 3.15 in of snow for today. The winter weather travel advisory has been issued for Toronto as part of the province are set to see another round of snow on Friday. Environment Canada said widespread snow will push across southwestern Ontario and the Golden Horseshoe on Friday, which could impact the evening commute with reduced visibility. The city could see between 4 to 8 centimeters of snow, the Federal Weather Agency said. Toronto is still cleaning up for last weekend's storm that dumped up to 30 centimeters, which is about 11.81 in of snow. It prompted the city to declare a major snowstorm condition to assist crews in clearing the roads and sidewalks. The temperature high on Friday will be minus 1 Celsius. No, sorry, minus 1 degree with a wind chill near minus 8. For the weekend, it will begin with a mix of sun and cloud on Saturday with a high of 1 degrees. Cloudy conditions are in the forecast for Sunday with a high of 0 degrees. It's almost time to spring forward in Ontario. If you're wondering when you will have to change your clock for daylight saving time in 2023, expect to do so this weekend. The time will change to 2 a.m. on March 12th, the next day. The sun will set to be around for 7:20 p.m. Daylight saving time is no fun for anyone. Here are a few steps you can take to mitigate this effect. Take baby steps. Don't just set the clock forward an hour one night and expect to get right back in sync. It takes some time to adapt to the loss of sleep. To help adjust, gradually shift your bedtime in preparation for daylight saving time. So if you go to bed at 9 p.m., about 4 days before the time change, go to bed at 8:45 p.m., then 8:30 p.m., and so on until you are going to bed as close to 8 p.m. as possible. If possible, wake them up a little earlier as well. Control of light, which means the melatonin is a hormone that helps regulate your body's internal circadian clock. It increases the evening as it becomes dark, which help induce sleep and shuts down when it's lights out, which can then increase wakefulness and alertness. But daylight saving time throws the natural cycle out of a whack a bit. Dimming the lights in your bedroom and turning off all electronics about 30 minutes to an hour before bedtime can help get more sleep time, sleep quality, and a daytime alertness. Get enough sleep now. On the days before you change your clock, make sure you get plenty of shut eye. That way you won't wake up cranky and overtired. This has been for your interesting facts, Canadian news, and weather. It's 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 all we have time for today, folks. I'm sending back to you, Aiden.
I gotta say, Kevin, you know what? I absolutely am not going to be too happy for daylight savings. Oh, I'm going to lose a whole hour of sleep, but it's definitely going to be hard to adapt to it. But I really do appreciate the tips you gave us because you know what? I feel like a lot of people are going to be using them. And also, guys, unfortunately, you will not be planting any of your plants just yet. We might be having cloudy skies, but trust you me, this week we still have another snowstorm to get ready for. So, you know what? We're gonna have to wait till a bit later. But on that note, what did you guys think of Kevin's news, Nibras, and you, Jeff, and you, Joshua?
I thought all of it was good.
Same here.
I
Mhm.
agree on that. You know what? It is definitely a mixed bag news. He's
Mhm.
got everything from some things about daylight
All,
savings.
sorry, Aiden, I'm interrupting. Although sometimes when daylight savings comes, we know what time that is. It's time for spring. But this year, I don't know what happened. Spring is gonna be late. It is coming. And the spring has caught its train, but it is coming. It's late.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna. It is definitely going to be spring soon, but you know what? You might still need to wear a jacket and maybe some pants. Anyways, though, thank you so much, Kevin. And now it's time to move to our second gaming news. Now, I'm just going to warn everybody in advance. I know it may be weird to talk about this kind of thing, but you know what? It's very important that we do. Anyways, on this news, we got Fortnite. I know you never expected me to talk about Fortnite, right? But you know what? As a gaming enthusiast, you got to talk about the stuff that is happening in the gaming world. And a lot of people are talking about Fortnite's Chapter 4 Season 2 new update, which is more of a cyberpunk block kind of party. So this update apparently has a massive new metropolis, a bunch of new skins, and the ability to grind around skyscrapers during firefights. Plus, players can now recreate the car chases that they only dreamed of, like in Cyberpunk 2077. But you know what? The interesting thing is Mega City, which is its main attraction, a point of interest that faithfully conjures the neon nightlife and violence of sci-fi dystopia, originally conceived back in the 80s, Orientalism and all. But don't think it's just all about this cyberpunk kind of design. You also got katanas and you got a whole bunch of things. And for any Fortnite fans around, do note that we got the pump shotgun back. Now, I don't play Fortnite too much, or maybe I'm lying a bit there. I love Fortnite, and the pump shotgun is one of my favorite shotguns in the whole wide world. So, you know what? It's great that they unvaulted it. And you know what? It is a very powerful game. You know what? It definitely has turned the tides and it requires a little bit more skill than what you might think. No more people throwing rockets all over the place. Now you've got to use a katana, and a lot of people are using it. If you have the time or if you're ever bored, Fortnite's a free-to-play game, and you know what? It doesn't require. It's not a pay-to-win kind of game. It's a game that requires you to have a little bit of skill, and when you have that skill, then trust you me, guys, you might get yourself a battle royale. Anyways, though, this has been my second gaming news, and next up is Joshua with good story news, and of course, your very favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Connect Now for a good news story. An American nonprofit is helping bereaved families recover from loss one crocheted sweater at a time. Lost Ends is a nine-inch yet important outlet for those whose mother and grandmothers left behind unfinishing, unfinished knitting or crochet work. Their volunteer knitters finished project left behind by those who have passed away. While it seems too specific to be of much use, Loose Ends has already connected to 5,000 volunteers, or what they call finishers, with families who have lost a knitting member and they have been able to complete 20 projects with another 200 in the works. For the finishers, it's an opportunity for their talents to be put to seriously appreciated work, and perhaps make a new friend or two. Annie Gateswood's mother has died of lymphoma during a project of knitting sweaters for her grandchildren. Gate, Gatewood met her finisher Sarah Didos and described it as a special and delightful experience to meet the person who complete her mother's unfinished sweaters. It isn't just knitting and crochet projects which Loose Ends manages, but also includes basket weaving, embroidery, quilting, sewing, rug weaving, cross stitch, needlework, and felting. Headquartered in Maine and Seattle, Loose Ends was started by two avid knitters, Jen Simonic and Macy Calvin, who say that friends would often ask them to finish blankets, sweaters, or other projects left undone by deceased loved ones. The company provides finishing services for Dutch, French, German, Hebrew, Spanish, and Czech speaking families. Now for another good news story. In a story that only those who live in the cities of America's East will understand, a surgeon ran about a mile to and from a hospital to pick up a liver for his patient after courier's route was blocked by thousands of marathon runners. The patient's 66-year-old Charles Rowe was waiting on an operating table while with his surgeon, Dr. Adam Budzin. Rowe was scheduled for a liver transplant that day to save his life from complications due to hepatitis C. Time ticked by until Rowe was surprised to hear that Dr. Budzin was going out the door to get the liver himself. Meanwhile, an out-of-town van driver for the Gift of Life donor program was having trouble negotiating the Philadelphia's road network of one-way streets, half blocks and diagonals of the city and city center. It soon became clear that this route to Thomas Jefferson University would be blocked by the Philadelphia Half Marathon at two separate points. Event organizers and police have access points for emergencies going towards the hospital, but the courier couldn't find them even after consulting the police authorities. Wearing sneakers and operating room scrubs, Dr. Budzin ran from the hospital entrance and weaved through the stream of runners on different nearby streets, reaching the driver and taking the sealed container with the liver on ice. He zigzagged back the same way, earning what must have been more than a few curious stares from folks. He later hitched a ride with the police back to the hospital on the other side of the marathon route. Thanks to Dr. Budzin, quick thinking, they managed to liver transplant the liver successfully. Even if the transplant occurred 1 hour after the time when a liver begins to deteriorate, Rowe, the patient, made a full recovery and left the hospital 6 days later. Rowe called Dr. Budzin a hero, although Dr. Budzin chose to describe himself as more of a biker. Now turning to animal interest news. Cats get a bad rap for being loners, but one lucky kitty trapped under rubble in the Turkish quakes will not allow himself to be separated from his rescuer. When the devastating earthquakes hit Gaziantep in Turkey, they struck a country where cats are loved harder than any, perhaps any other. A viral post on social media saw a Turkish firefighter named Ali Kagas with a dust-covered cat perched on his shoulder. Kagas found the animal buried in the rubble where it had been for 10 days. It refused to leave his side as he continued to working with his fire department to save people and animals. ABC News did a little digging on social media and found out that Kagas, who was pictured in a video wearing a bike helmet and snowboarding goggles for protection during the rescue, is actually a world-class mountain biker and worked as a coach for the Turkish national mountain biking team. Kagas has since taken the cat home and adopted him. His name is Encas, which means rubble in Turkish. Further good news is that Encas the cat has now become the official mascot of Kaka's fire department. This is Joshua Show reporting for Youth Connect. That's it for me. Now I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
My goodness, that is one stubborn cat. But you know what? Thank goodness that the firefighter was just as stubborn and saved that cat from that fire. My goodness. Or technically it was just from rubble, but still, it's still very scary. You know what? I think all of the news was pretty interesting. And you know what? I hope those marathon runners were able to move out of the way so that the organs were hopefully got to the person in time. You know what? Anyways, though, what did you guys think of Joshua's news?
I think the animal news is good. It's a good story.
I like the first one.
The cat is very cute. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Jeffrey.
No, I said like the first one was my favorite because those blankets looked very comfortable. And nice.
I definitely enjoyed the cat, though. You know
Very
what?
cute, and that picture
Yeah.
is amazing.
Thank you so much, Joshua. You know what? It's always awesome to have that good story news and animal news. You know what? It's just a little bit of positive news to kind of just like have that good start. Anyways, though, moving on to our third gaming news, we're going to be talking about our board game of the week. It's similar to our video game of the week, but guess what? It's a board game. Now, unfortunately, you're going to have to put your phones down. No electronics here because it's all about the board games. And what is today's board game of the week? Well, today's board game of the week is called Station Fall. Now, what is Station Fall? Well, imagine a dozen or so random humans, robots, and none of the aboves, each with their own abilities, goals, and secret relationships, have been turned loose on a space station that is going to be incinerated upon its inevitable re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. You are one of those characters, and the others are collaborators that you have on hand ready to assist you in achieving your goals, but choose them wisely, as any one of them could secretly be another player waiting to betray you. Oh, it's like a game of Guess Who. But Station Fall is a box full of creative solutions, but that box is going to morph, twist, and grow teeth over the course of gameplay. Your best turns will exploit the unique tactical freedom of being a secret conspiracy, as well as deductions about your opponent's identities and motives. Station Fall is apparently supposed to be named as messy, intricate, and full of dangerous variables. Holy macaroni. This is like trying to find out who is going to sabotage you. This sounds kind of similar to Among Us, but obviously it's a bit of a twist and has a little bit more going on. It's definitely a lot happening. You know what? I would like to try out this board game because it sounds like a board game that I would love to play because it is so hectic. And you know me, guys. If you know me personally, I love games that are really fast-paced. And this board game definitely sounds like I'm going to have to be a little bit of a detective to figure out who is my ally and who is my enemy. It's a cool board game. And again, it is called Station Fall. Ooh. Pretty interesting stuff. But you know what's even more interesting? Next up, we have Nibras for some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan, and I'm used for the entertainment news. Let's get straight on our top story. And our top story is about Shazam! Fury of the Gods star Zachary Levi wants to see Shazam team up with, yes, you guessed it, team up with Green Lantern for the new, the Brave, and the Bold project. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the first DC movie to hit theaters since James Gunn took over DC Studios and announced a number of projects for DC's Chapter 1 slate. Although Shazam's future is unclear, Levi is hopeful, and director David F. Sandberg has implied that the success of the new movie will be a deciding factor in the hero's DCU future. In an exclusive interview with Screen Rant, Levi reveals that Green Lantern would be his pick for a Shazam, the Brave and the Bold team up. He explains why Green Lantern and Shazam could be a complementary pair. Levi also breaks down the potentially hilarious dynamic he believes Billy would have with every DC hero. Zachary Levi. So, this is the quote by Zachary Levi. I think that no matter who Shazam or Billy is teamed up with, he's going to be a puppy dog. It's like, wow, this is so cool. Wow, what are we doing, right? And they end up being more of a straight man to Billy's silliness. So one will be very serious, and Billy will be so hilarious. So that's what be the scenario. So I actually think Green Lantern would be a really fun character. The Lantern Corps, their abilities are so endless, almost with their ability to create a manifest. And I think that coupled with the child delight in Billy means that we could have so much fun. Gunn has announced two projects that could make his idea reality. Specifically, the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, and Lanterns. The Green Lantern series will take a true detective approach. Following Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, Batman, the Brave and the Bold will introduce a new Batman to the DCU, pairing him with his son Damian Wayne and his sidekick Robin. It could also be an opportunity to build relationships between different heroes long before reforming the Justice League in a way that builds out the world like never before. So I'm so excited for, first of all, for Shazam, the Fury of the God, and Batman and the Brave and the Bold. So excited. So Shazam will be released in theaters March 17th, so next Friday, I believe. And it's like when they create movies, they just take level them up to another level so we can see something else after Shazam. So I'm very excited for the DCU future. Now to my second story. Now before I go to my second story, I'd like to give you guys a fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is, drumroll please. Did you guys know that this weekend banquet halls all over Ontario will be covered with various powdered colors? Yes, that's true. And because it's holy, it's the Holy Weekend. So if you guys didn't know what Holi is, so Holi is celebrated in India. It's an Indian tradition and culture all over India, and they throw colors, powdered color, watercolors, and they just have fun. They do this, they put it on the face, and it's just their It's just a festival for them. Everyone knows there's a lot of Indians celebrating Holi here in Canada. And I'm in the banquet hall, and today actually there's a holy party, so they're gonna be smothering holy colors in their face, in their arms. So they're having fun, they're eating. It's gonna be a great day today. So if you guys didn't know, now you know. Okay, so now to my second story. So my second story is about a podcast. So the podcast name is Heist with Michael Caine. So in this Audible original podcast, acclaimed actor Michael Caine presents us with some of the most daring robberies and heists that have ever taken place. So true crime podcast, from the time honored art of burglary to the modern day scourge of the cyber crime. These stories will have so many reactions, from sheer astonishment to awe to utter disbelief and disgust. With Kane as your guide, you will be transported into his mind and feel as if you are right there at the scene of the crime. See if you can wrap up your head around these stories in a whole new level as an investigative journal. So I love this podcast. So the podcast name is Heist with Michael Caine. He just talks about true crime that has already happened, just goes deep into the story, what happened, why, how it happened, what was the end result. It's just good suspense, mystery stories, fun stories, right? For some fun. And it's just a really nice podcast. If you're bored, if you want to do something suspenseful, listen to the podcast. So the podcast name is Heist with Michael Caine. Heist with Michael Caine. Pretty much that's all from me. As always, this is Nibras Khan from Mute Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Back to Aiden. Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. Now, Nebraska, if I'm correct, Holly Week is also known as the Festival of Colors, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as an artist, I gotta say that sounds absolutely amazing. I cannot even believe that it was happening, but this is so good to know, because you know what? I might make a painting that is going to be all of these bright colors, because as I saw, when Holly happens, there's all like literally pows of pink and dry
scattered.
powder everywhere.
But just to let you guys know that it's in my bankroll, we have put sheets of like tarp to protect the carpet and the walls, so when they splatter or smother paint, it doesn't go into our carpet, just to have protection. So it's gonna be a wild party tonight. They're gonna have so much fun today.
You know what? Sounds like a ton of fun, and I hope that you have a lot of fun. And you know what? Also on the first news that you talked about, Shazam: Fury of the Gods is coming out relatively soon. I'm pretty sure it's coming out in 6 days, and a lot of people are speculating what's going to happen in this series. But you know
I'm so
what?
excited.
I don't know. I don't know too much about Shazam, but you know, it definitely is interesting to have a kid who is a superhero. So it's going to definitely be something that's going to be a must watch for the MCU community. But on that note, I'm also going to ask you, Kevin, and you, Joshua, and of course, if you want to answer as well as Jeff, what did you guys think of Nebraska's news?
Well, allow me to say that I do excited for Shazam, but I cannot wait for the new DCU happening. The whole like
There's 2 movies coming out.
Universe and stuff, but it might take a while for getting casted for as a Superman or Batman or whatever. Just can't wait to see what's happening.
It definitely is going to be interesting.
But I do gonna miss the old DC universe, who has Zack Snyder's there.
As much as I would want to talk about it, my eyes have only been on the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, you know what? It is awesome to hear that, you know, the MCU and DCU are still making a bunch of stuff. And I bet you they're going to be definitely must-watches, especially for myself, because I'm going to have to check them out. I watched the original Shazam, and you know what? Batman's always fun to watch as well.
Yeah, it's cool. That's cool.
Thank you so much, Nebraska, for your entertainment news. It's always awesome to have it, because you know what? We learn about stuff that we didn't even know about. Like, I didn't know that I was going to know about Holly, because you know what? It definitely is going to be really cool to create some very bright and vibrant painting, especially to honor the Holly Week. But if you guys know, we have to have one final thing for our Youth Connect. What is it? Well, I'm ready to have my ears open. Get your ears ready because we have Jeffrey with his live music.
Hi everybody, this is Jeffrey, your live musician, and I'm going to be playing an original song called We Are Superability Crew, which is about our group, Superability Crew. So here we are. You can be inspired, perhaps find someone to hire, be a person to speak, maybe in a few weeks. A photographer, an artist, a broadcaster too. We have some every occasion, all you do. Your bracelets look pretty, perhaps someone sing a ditty. Musicians for hire, you'll be surely inspired. And so much more to explore. Puzzles of glory, possibilities endless. Can't you see? Stand together to victory. We are Superability Crew. We are Superability Crew. Maybe you need someone for pictures, take you on a mystical tour, a photographer tour. Or perhaps you want to see yourself in another angel. Maybe you need someone for pictures, to take you on a photography tour. Maybe you want someone to paint you in a mystical view or something new. Or perhaps you want to see yourself in another angel. Computers are the key. It's technically all you see. Stand together, victory. We are Superability Crew. We are Superability Crew. Pet lovers, yes they are here, join us too. You have every oath. You can have someone to tell you new. You choose. Possibilities endless, can't you see? Stand together in victory. We are Superability Crew. We are Superability Crew. Maybe you need someone for pictures, take you on a photography tour. Maybe you want someone to paint you in a mystical view with something new. Or perhaps you want to see yourself in another angel. Computers are the key. It's technically all up to you. See, stand together in victory. We are Super Ability Crew. We are Super Ability Crew. They love us. Yes, they are here. Guard us too. You could even have someone tell you the news. You choose. The possibilities endless. Can't you see? Stand together in victory. We are Super Ability Crew. We are Super Ability Crew. Pet lovers, yes, they are here. Gardeners too. You can even have someone tell you the news. You choose. The possibilities endless, can't you see? Stand together in victory. We are Super Ability Crew. We are Super Ability Crew. Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. I'll see you all next week. It's back to you, Aiden. Bye, everyone.
You should always be a crew, but you know what we are? We definitely are the Super Ability Crew. You know what? That was an awesome song, Jeff. And you know what? I absolutely love it every single time when you sing a song because you know what? It's always great to hear your awesome voice and definitely the music that you do. Now, I just want to tell everybody before we end, this week we will be having a March break special. Our Youth Connect crew and special guests will do a show on Wednesday, March 15th at 11 a.m. It's going to include an art workshop with me, so collect all your art supplies and join us for a fun event. But that also means that we will be not having a Youth Connect on Friday since technically we will be having it on Wednesday. So remember, we're having it on Wednesday, March the 15th at 11 a.m. Anyways, though, this is the end of this Youth Connect. If you liked Youth Connect, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, guys, I really hope that you have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay warm because it's absolutely freezing over here. And don't get lost in the snow. It definitely is a little bit powdery. Anyways, catch you later, guys, and have a great rest of your week.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
guys.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.